each life. Into each life.
All right, I'm gonna give y'all a little advice on some plumbing.
Every smile is not a smile.
Because the next few days is gonna get cold. It's supposed to snow. So I'm gonna give y'all a little advice.
I'd like to dedicate this song to all of you.
Some of y'all are homeowners.
Because maybe you have a loved one that's far away. Maybe
so that you can try to prevent your pipes bursting.
You know,
plumbing is my main specialty out of all the trades that I do as a licensed general contractor. Because they're already predicting a lot of pipes going to bust, because when it get that cold down below, there ain't much that you can really do. Excuse me, but try to prevent it from happening. That's all you can do. So I give it to you from my expertise. It's called preventive maintenance. So what you can do is let me let this part go by. This is my part right here, then I'll tell y'all. It's a commercial right here. Sung her heart out. Woo! Bring back memories. So anyway, back to the plumbing. You want to just go like to the cold water side of your faucet. You just kind of let each faucet drip. That way your water is circulating. It may not be circulating at a fast pace, but it's moving in a line on the cold water. Your hot water, really, you don't much have to worry about it freezing up too much, unless, well, I'll just, to be on the safe side, I'll just say turn both handles on. If you're not home, because if the hot water is not moving for a long period of time, and the pipes, inside the pipes, it'll get cold. The temperature start dropping, because you know your hot water can be like 130, 140, degrees. I had to get that in. Bear with me, I'm giving y'all free advice. He done her good, didn't he? I'll leave it alone now. So anyway, I would say just turn both handles. If you got a single level faucet, that's the one handle in the kitchen or the bathroom. Just push it straight in the middle, back. Push it straight in the middle, back. And not all the way back, because then the water be coming out. Just enough so that it can drip. Because you just want the water constantly circulating, Because when the water's at a standstill, the temperature get down that low, depending on, that outer wall. Even if you got insulation on that outer wall over the sinks or wherever the case may be, you got cold air on the outside of the wall. So when that cold air is coming through, ain't nothing no boiler can do that keeps that house that warm to keep those pipes from busting. If so, they would never bust. So that's just, worst case scenario. Hold on. So, The tub too. The tub the same way. Turn both handles, on slow. Just let it like drip a little bit. You ain't gonna burn that much water. Probably throughout the whole day, like somebody took a bath and just filled the tub of water up. If it get to that much out of your whole day, if you gone to work. I think it's supposed to go down Thursday, along with the snow. So just pay attention and monitor the weather, so that you understand and stay conscious of what's going on around you. It's good to look at the news sometime, even though you got a lot of watered down and fantasy that they portray daily, but some things are helpful and needful. They may exaggerate some things, but still take heed to it. Either way, just because they exaggerate, but take heed to it. Because I know I will probably get some emergency calls to go change some pipes, and to save yourself some money, so you don't have to be paying plumbers. I'm not a plumber, but I just specialize in plumbing, and I do plumbing repairs. So as a general contractor, I can do plumbing repairs. Only way I need a license if it's something that's called for a permit, which means after I do the job, I have to call a inspector out, city inspector, to come and check it to make sure it's done by city regulations and city code. So I don't need no permit, just to fix pipes or whatever, just to replace, because it's a repair. I'm not taking something away and putting something new, like a whole unit or something like that, like a boiler or running on new pipes in a new house, stuff like that. You need to get I had to get a licensed plumber to do all that. So I do everything. I'm general contract. That means I generalize in all repairs. It's just plumbing, just one of my more calls I get throughout the winter time. So just make sure you do this in every sink, and you shouldn't really have no problem. Just turn until the water's dripping. As long as it's dripping, your water is constantly moving. It's not at a standstill in the pipe, because when it's at a standstill in the pipe, it's just sitting there. It's easy to freeze up, especially the cold water. You don't have too much problem with the hot water. The cold water, because it's already cold and the temperature's already down on it, on the cold water. So, that's why you want to make sure you concentrate on, on both of them. The hot and cold. You want to go on hot and cold. All right, so that's how you can prevent, from coming home and seeing your house flooded. But when that pipe busts, you talking about 60, 70 pounds of water per square inch, depending on what city you live in. Some cities pressure at 80, 90, 100. I think Newark got about 100, which is a lot of pressure coming through each building and through the city. So just be mindful of that and keep your boilers running. Make sure they running. Keep them like maybe 70, 72. It all depends on your house and, whether it's been insulated good enough, how old it is. All that has to do, because some houses back, I think, after 70, they didn't really insulate, because back then they didn't really feel they needed to. So now the new codes and regulation calls for, all new houses to be insulated. That's the outer wall. That's the wall that's mainly on the outside of the house, not the walls that's, like going across in your house. They don't need to be insulated. That's on the outside. Then they have to be insulated inside the wall. So just be careful, because it never fails. I always get calls, I got water running around, and half of y'all don't even know how to shut the water off in the basement. You should make sure you know where your shut off valve is in the basement coming in from the city. You should know, your kids should know, anyone in your household should know. This way, if you're not there, you don't have to worry about saying, Mom, I don't know what valve, what are you talking about? Show your kids where stuff at. So this is how you educate your kids about your home. And if you're not there, they should even know how to turn a breaker panel off if you got a spark in your outlets, because sometimes your outlets overheat, and that's how you cause a fire, by having these heaters plugged into them, the electric heater. A lot of them catch on fire. And then you got an older house that has that cloth wire material over it. They heat up and catch on fire quick. This happened to me about 2 weeks ago. One of my customers' house almost caught on fire. Good thing she came home just in time, because she seen it sparking and she pulled it out. And I told her to go turn off the electrical panel. because she don't know how far that has been going, and it could be generating heat, heating up the wires, and before you know it, you got a fire inside the wall. And when you got electrical fire, it's hard to find out where it's coming from. So when firemen come, they just busting holes open and spraying water wherever they see smoke coming from that direction. That's the hardest fire to contain and figure out where it's coming from when you got electrical fire, because the wires inside the wall, you can't see them. All you see is fire and smoke. That's it. So that's, you got to be careful with those electric heaters. You don't leave them on unless you're in the room yourself. Don't go out and leave them on, because they can catch a fire inside the wall at any time. It backfire, heat up that line, that 120 going in, because all that power coming from the radiator itself. They carry a lot of amperage, which is really not set for the plug. They really too much for the plugs, but we still use them, and that's why they catch on fire. Because sometimes the breaker's not working properly, it won't shut it down right away. If it don't shut it down, those wires are being heated up, and when they keep heating up, what you think gonna happen? You got insulation on top of the wires. It's insulated over top of the copper wire. That's to protect you from touching it, and the wires, touching anything inside the wall. So once that wire heat up too hot, now what's gonna happen? The insulation around the wire is gonna start getting hot, and it's gonna start a fire. It's gonna start, because it's plastic, or either cloth, depending on whether you got old or new, or the old house or new house. The old house, mainly cloth. You got cloth around the wire as insulation. And the new one, you got plastic. So once either one of them generate enough heat and temperature, they're going to catch on fire. And what's going to happen? The cord is catching on fire, going all the way up wherever it's going to. And while it's catching on fire, the wood catching on fire, the sheetrock, everything. You got a gas line in there. If you got a small leak in that, it can cause an explosion, whatever the case may be. So, that's all I got to say. I ain't going to burn y'all ears. So this is free advice. So if I'm giving y'all free advice, y'all should be calling me, because most contractors won't tell y'all jack, because they want your money. Anyway, I want your money too, but if I can help you save some money, I will. I don't like to just take people money. I believe in trying to help people, first before they get into a jam. That's how I am. Always been there. Anybody that knows me and I have done work for, they'll tell you how I am when I come to your house. It's easy to take your money. I take your money all day, just by telling you this wrong, that need to be changed, but why? It's only going to catch up with me in the end. I know contractors that do that. That's why they ain't in business no more, because they're always lying and taking advantage of you. I ain't got to do that. I'm good to my customers. They good to me. All right, so that's your free advice. Any services you need, give me a call, 201-206-9808. That's my number. General contract. That means I do all home improvement, plumbing, electric, carpentry, windows, basements, concrete, floors, bathrooms, kitchens, locks, windows, siding, some roofing. I don't do too much roofing, but I have my guys take care. I don't really, because I don't go on roofs that much no more unless it's something small. I ain't 30 years old no more. I ain't 20 years old no more. So I got to start thinking about my life being over 50 years old. So that's out. I don't go on no roofs no more. All right. So thank y'all for watching. I'm at work, so I'm going to get back to looking at my iPad. I was looking at a movie until y'all disturbed me. See, I was thinking about y'all before somebody called me and told me how this weather was going. I said, let me go and give a free, advertise a nice announcement to people, let them know, just give you some free advice. That's all. That's who I am, baby. Adios.